Hello to the brave crew of the Deep Dive channel. I'm your captain, and tonight we're embarking on a crucial voyage of discovery, a journey into ourselves. Imagine you've walked into a massive supermarket. In the cereal aisle, you're faced with hundreds of colorful boxes. Chocolate, gluten-free, organic, sugar-loaded, oat-based, keto-friendly. At first glance, all this variety feels empowering, right? So many choices, so much freedom. But hold on a second, have you ever stopped to ask who decided these were your options in the first place? You didn't grow the wheat, you didn't design the packaging, you didn't even question whether cereal is the best way to start your day. You just walked in and chose from a list of options that had already been chosen for you. This is what's called the modern illusion of freedom. We're told we live in the best era of history, in a world of endless possibilities where we can be anyone and do anything. But in reality, this freedom is more like a kid's menu, colorful, limited, and pre-approved. By the end of this journey, you will become aware of the invisible walls surrounding your life, and more importantly, you'll learn how to escape them. Because the greatest rebellion in a world designed to distract you is to remember who you truly are. Let's start with the first thing we face every morning. You pick up your phone and see a motivational quote, "You have the same 24 hours in a day as Elon Musk." Suddenly, anxiety floods your system. The emails you have to answer, the tasks you have to complete, the goals you have to reach. You haven't even brushed your teeth yet, but you already feel like you're falling behind. Welcome to the productivity trap. A world where being busy has become a badge of honor, and your value is measured not by who you are, but by what you produce. We glorify sleeplessness and romanticize burnout. The message is clear, your worth depends on your output. But who wrote this rule? From childhood, we've been conditioned to chase golden stars, good grades, promotions, likes, and shares. We've internalized a dangerous equation, doing more equals being worth more. And slowly, this equation became our reality. Not because it's true, but because it's been repeated so often that we no longer question it. And here's the twist. The system is designed this way. The more insecure you feel, the more you strive to be productive. You buy planning apps, sign up for online courses, and work harder, thinking that one more achievement will finally bring you peace. But peace never arrives, because the finish line is always moving. It's a treadmill with no off switch. This system hasn't even spared our leisure time. Want to read a book? It better be a self-help book. Want to go for a walk? Make sure you count your steps. Want to do nothing? That's called laziness. Unless you can brand it as mindful recovery. We've forgotten how to simply exist without a goal, without a plan. But here's the truth. You are not a machine. You are not supposed to operate at maximum efficiency every hour of every day. Nature doesn't bloom all year round, why should you? Productivity culture masks itself as empowerment, but in reality, it promotes a form of silent servitude, where rest feels like guilt and stillness feels like failure. This isn't just a mental trap, it's a psychological identity crisis. We aren't addicted to work, we're addicted to being seen as useful, addicted to validation. But if your entire identity is built on your productivity, what happens when you stop? When you're not doing anything, who are you? And this brings us to the heart of the matter, identity. Here's a shocking truth, identity isn't discovered, it's constructed. And modern society has become a master architect. Social media, education systems, advertising, they don't just reflect who you are, they tell you who you should be. You see filtered photos and flawless lifestyles, and somewhere deep inside, a quiet voice asks, should I be like that too? From the moment we're born, the world starts to shape us. Your gender is assigned, your culture is stamped upon you, and your name is repeated until you internalize it as me. You learn what is praised, what is punished, and what receives love, and you unconsciously adapt. Slowly, your authentic self is traded for a safer, more acceptable version. A version of you that fits neatly into a world that dislikes messiness and mystery. But this comfort is a massive trap. Comfort can become a cage. Because comfort isn't neutral, it shapes us. It dulls the sharp edges of our personality, and when we become too immersed in it, it numbs the very instincts that drive our growth. Look around you. Every innovation is designed to reduce effort. Why walk when you can drive? Why cook when you can order? Why talk when you can scroll? In the name of efficiency, we've traded friction for fluency, but friction is where change happens. It's where muscles grow, minds stretch, and identities evolve. The illusion of comfort tells us we're progressing when in fact we're just surviving in a soft, padded room. And here's the scary part, the system knows this. A comfortable population is a controllable population. When people are fed, entertained, and distracted, They are less likely to ask questions, to resist, or to awaken. Comfort pacifies rebellion. But every now and then, maybe in a moment of solitude, maybe in the middle of a breakdown, the mask slips. For a fleeting second you see something raw and unpolished, a version of yourself that doesn't need to impress or prove anything. That's the real self, the one hidden beneath all the noise. This doesn't mean you must reject all the roles you've taken on. Some identities serve us, but when they start to imprison you, when they silence your deeper questions, that's when it's time to ask, who am I without all of this? Try this once. Sit in silence. No music, no phone, no distractions, just you. And ask yourself, if no one was watching, what would I still care about? What would I still love? And what would I stop doing? This is where your true identity lives. Not in your job title, not in your Instagram bio, but in the quiet awareness that you are more than the roles you play. You were never meant to be a brand. You were meant to be a human being. And the most liberating journey you will ever take is the journey back to yourself. The way back isn't through achievement, it's through attention. The moments you choose to sit in silence instead of seeking distraction. The moments you write, not to post, not to impress anyone, but just to hear the sound of your own thoughts again. The moments you say no, not because it's more efficient, but because it's more honest. And perhaps most powerfully, the moments you do nothing at all and realize you're still worthy. Because the real self doesn't scream, it whispers. And to hear it, you have to slow down. You have to step off the stage, close the tabs, and turn down the volume of the world so you can finally hear the volume of you. And when you do, something miraculous happens. You remember what you love, not because it's trendy, but because it lights something up inside you. You remember what you fear, not because someone told you to avoid it, but because it holds a truth for you. You remember what truly matters, not for social status, but for your soul. This is the greatest deception of modern society. Control isn't exercised through force, but through illusion. Through the comforting lie that you are already free. But true freedom begins when you stop mistaking the menu for the meal. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. If this message resonated with you, please help us reach more people by liking and sharing it. And if you're not yet part of our crew, subscribe to join us on our future journeys. Take care of yourselves. We love you. It's time to wake up.